Mario Kart Double Dash was supposed to be one of the easier games from my childhood to complete. I was very, very wrong. So I'm on a mission to beat every single game from my childhood using Retro Achievements, and today we're taking on Mario Kart Double Dash. If you've never heard of Retro Achievements, it's a community-driven website that adds achievements to classic games. For Double Dash, there are 65 to earn, including beating every Grand Prix on 50, 100 and 150cc mode, as well as unlocking and beating the mirror mode, winning cups with specific characters and kart combinations, a handful of miscellaneous challenges, and finally the dreaded time trials. By the end of this video, I'll need to go from barely staying on the track to mastering every course in the game. Right then, let's start by building those skills, starting with the easiest difficulty, 50cc. Coming off the back of Mario Kart 64, I thought I'd have a decent head start. Turns out Double Dash has other ideas. Anyway, to make this mastery go as quick as possible, I needed to make sure I was using the right character combinations from the very start. There are character specific achievements throughout the set, so planning ahead would save me a lot of time and a lot of extra races later on. Thankfully, there aren't any specific achievements for 50cc. So with 16 characters to choose from, there's only one place to start: Mario and Luigi, the most iconic duo in gaming. One of the things that made Double Dash so unique was the fact that each kart had two characters. You could play solo and switch between them on the fly, or you could play co-op with two players sharing the same kart, which is exactly how me and my older brother used to play back in the day. Being the younger sibling, I naturally got the important job spamming power-ups. But enough childhood trauma, we've got achievements to earn, beginning with Luigi Circuit, and wow, we're going to be seeing a lot of this track before this mastery is over. Luigi Circuit is a pretty simple opening course, but it does have one interesting feature. Having parts of the track run alongside each other in opposite directions felt surprisingly unique at the time, and it gave the races a little bit more life than your standard start course. Luigi Circuit is basically this game's way of saying, right, let's see if you remember how to drive. It's a gentle introduction into everything Double Dash. It's about power-ups, boost pads, drifting, and trying not to drive directly into a wall. Thankfully, there were no major disasters here. And that's the first win. 10 points, job done. Next up was Peach Beach, a track that looks nice and relaxing until the tide starts coming in and a bunch of whatever these things are start chasing you. Apparently they're called cataquacks. I played this game for over 20 years and I never knew that. Thankfully though, knowing their name isn't required to beat them, and another comfortable win puts us up to 20 points. Then came Baby Park, the shortest track in Mario Kart history. Each lap lasts around 10 to 15 seconds, which sounds easy until you realise you're doing 7 laps and every item in the game is bouncing around the track at the same time. This place is complete chaos. You've got Bowser's green shells flying across the circuit, DK's massive bananas, and that's because every character pairing gets their own special item. Mario and Luigi's special item is a bundle of fireballs, basically the fire flower from the main Mario games. Despite the chaos, that's 3 wins from 3. The final race of the Mushroom Cup was Dry Desert. For some reason, I absolutely hated this track as a kid. Coming back to it now though, it's not actually that bad. Just avoid the quicksand, avoid the tornado, avoid the pokies. Simple. A clean race later and we've secured first place, finishing the cup with a maximum 40 points, which means that we've also unlocked the first achievement of the run. And as a bonus, every Grand Prix victory unlocks a brand new kart. Speaking of karts, one of the biggest changes from Mario Kart 64 is that not every vehicle is created equal. Every kart has its own visible stats, so before every race you're choosing between the speed, acceleration and weight, whether you want a smooth ride or a complete disaster. With the Mushroom Cup cleared, it was time for the Flower Cup, still rocking that pairing Mario and Luigi, and somehow we still haven't figured out how to do the starting boost. Don't know when this timing is. So we're already on the back foot before the race had even started, and things weren't improving. What a shot that was. But thankfully this was still 50cc, where the AI is about as threatening as a traffic cone, and even actual traffic couldn't stop us. Despite doing our best to throw away the race, we somehow fought back to first place and secured another win. It's a good job 50cc is forgiving, because later on we won't be getting away with anything like that.
You can't do that there.
Up next, Mario Circuit. Started off slow as I took a few hits.
Where on earth did that come from?
We're grinding our way back up to the first place. Mario Circuits tend to just be a simple track with a few hazards like the Goombas and Piranha Plants. I knew the names of these ones, so I don't need to Google it this time. But first place finish for the second win of this Grand Prix. Daisy Cruiser's next, a course on a cruise ship. No, not that one, this one. And apart from accidentally testing the depth of the swimming pool a few times.
Good shot that.
This race went pretty smoothly, and before long we're 3 for 3. That left one final race in the Flower Cup. A motocross inspired track packed with jumps, dirt corners, giant obstacles, and because Mario Kart hates health and safety regulations, actual rings of fire. But by this point though, Mario and Luigi were cruising. One more victory secured the Grand Prix, 4 races, 4 wins, another gold trophy, and more importantly, 2 more achievements added to the collection. That just left the Star Cup, which would round off everything that we could currently do on 50cc. 4 new tracks, 4 more chances to mess everything up. So starting off with Sherbetland. An ice track. Thankfully, unlike most ice levels, this didn't end with me sliding off the track into every single wall. We took an early lead and never really looked back, even getting dangerously close to lapping the other racers at the back of the pack. 50cc is really a different world. The next track is Mushroom City, a track packed with traffic and multiple routes throughout the city. Now, naturally, whenever a game gives me multiple routes, I immediately assume one of them is a shortcut. This wasn't, not even close. So still narrowly avoiding becoming part of the traffic, we somehow escaped with another win. Then came Yoshi Circuit, and honestly, this might be one of my favourite tracks in the entire game. The whole course is shaped like Yoshi, which somehow works way better than it has any right to. It's everything I wanted from Yoshi Valley from Mario Kart 64 to be. Fun corners, good flow, not getting hopelessly lost, just a brilliant track. 3 races down, 3 wins, and at this point, we still won every single race we'd entered. Surely that couldn't continue. On to DK Mountain, a volcano, a giant cannon, falling rocks. What could possibly go wrong? Spoiler alert, nothing. I dodged the hazards, I flew out of the cannon, I threaded my way through the falling boulders and completed the clean sweep. 4 races, 4 wins, another gold trophy, and 2 more achievements unlocked. With that, there was officially nothing left for us to do on 50cc at this time, so it was time to step things up and head on to 100cc. Now, because none of the character specific achievement mattered for these cups, Mario and Luigi stayed behind the wheel and saved both you and me from watching hours of races. We absolutely steamrolled it. All 3 cups, first attempt, no drama, no restarts, from just 6 more achievements unlocked for winning the cup and earning the gold trophies. Along the way, we also picked up another achievement on Peach Beach for winning without hitting any obstacles or enemies power-ups. But more importantly, we unlocked special cup for all difficulties. That it was time to head backwards to 50cc and take on an entirely new set of tracks.
Whenever I think about this game, this is the track I think of. Mario's Coliseum.
This track was pure nostalgia for me. As a kid, I was absolutely terrible at it. I'd constantly fall off the sides, I'd miss the turns, and generally make a complete mess of things, which is impressive considering it's only 2 laps long. The track wraps around a giant dome before spiralling down what feels like an endless descent, all while throwing sharp corners with very few barriers to save you from yourself. Thankfully, present day me was slightly more competent and the winning streak continued. Next up was Dino Dino Jungle, or as I like to call it, the Yoshi Valley of Mario Kart Double Dash. To understand that joke, go and check out the latest video after this one, obviously. But now, a giant dinosaur in the middle of the track. Narrow, winding bridge that I definitely fell off more times than I like to admit. There was geysers erupting from the ground, and despite my best efforts to sabotage the run, we still crossed the line in first. Then it was time for Bowser's Castle, and judging by the plays, Bowser's been doing a bit of redecorating. The moving blocks are still here though. At this point, I'm convinced they've claimed squatters' rights. The entire course is basically one giant tribute to Bowser's ego. A giant Bowser head at the entrance, a massive fireball spitting Bowser monument in the middle of the track. And honestly, if Bowser had social media, I think every post would just be a selfie. Thankfully, admiring the architecture didn't stop us from taking down another win. 3 races, 3 more victories, and then came Rainbow Road, because no Mario Kart game is complete without one, and this version is absolutely determined to throw you into the void. There are countless places to fall off, tight corners everywhere, and a huge spiraling section packed with boost pads that can send you flying if you're not careful. Still, after surviving this, we brought it home in first place and completed the special cup in 2 more achievements, and after repeating the same feat on 100cc, we added 2 more achievements to the collection. Right, the training wheels are officially off. It was finally time for 150cc. The AI gets faster, the races get tighter, and for the first time in the run, we had to start using specific character and kart combinations to unlock all the achievements, which meant I finally got to use some different characters. So for the Mushroom Cup, we need to use Mario and Luigi in the green fire. Oh, so it's not exactly the dramatic change I was hoping for. One thing that does change in 150cc is the AI pairings. Instead of fixed teams like Bowser and Bowser Jr., the game starts mixing characters together, meaning every race can have different special items in play, which sounds fun until you realise that they're all going to try and ruin your day. Still, we headed into the Mushroom Cup looking to continue our perfect winning streak, and we didn't get it, so we're gonna have to restart. We came second. The streak was over, and because we needed a perfect Grand Prix score, we had to restart the entire cup. The second attempt went a little bit better.
Just about.
But then Beach reminded me why Mario Kart has ended friendships for decades, because this appeared, the blue shell. When I was younger, this caused so many arguments in my house that my mum had banned the use of it, and I don't even think she knew what that meant, but it stopped the fights. For anyone somehow unfamiliar, it's basically a heat-seeking missile whose sole purpose is to punish whoever is winning, and on the final lap, it found me. The shell exploded, the kart went flying, Mario was launched into orbit, and somehow Luigi held on. Mario just about crawled over the finish line in first. I genuinely don't remember seeing a single blue shell in the 50 or 100cc. Maybe they were there and I just got lucky, or maybe they don't appear in those difficulties, but we've done enough googling for one day, so we'll never know. Either way, 150cc suddenly felt a lot less forgiving. Mistakes actually had consequences, which became obvious when we completely bottled Baby Park.
What's going on? What's going on?
I had to restart the Grand Prix again. Thankfully, the third time was the charm, and after yet another attempt, we completed the Mushroom Cup and picked up 2 more achievements. One for the correct character and kart combination, and one for earning the maximum 40 points. Next came the Flower Cup. I said there was a small problem.
In which car? In the Turbo Birdo.
The achievement required a kart that only unlocked after you beat the Flower Cup, which felt slightly unfair. So for now, the plan was simple. Win the cup, unlock the kart, and secure the gold trophy. Along the way, we also picked up a completely unexpected achievement on Daisy Cruiser. Apparently falling down the hole and getting launched back out through the pipe. Pops this. Now that we've got the gold trophy, we've unlocked the Birdo kart, and it's time to run the cup again, this time as Yoshi and Birdo. Their special item is the Yoshi egg, which breaks into random items when it hits something. We're hoping for a star or a mushroom for added boost, but we tend to get shells and bananas. Anyway, 4 races later, 4 wins, another achievement unlocked. So Star Cup was next. This achievement required us to use Toad and Toadette in Toadette's a kart we couldn't unlock until much later. So once again, all we could do was grab the gold trophy and come back later. And because Mario Kart enjoys being annoying, no pressure on, I obviously get the 40 point. Completely wasted. Finally, we've arrived at the Special Cup. DK and Diddy Kong, correct characters, correct kart, everything was lined up perfectly. 3 races down, just Rainbow Road left. 1 more win for the achievement, 1 more clean race. 4th place. Brilliant. So the perfect score achievement would have to wait for another day. At least we've still got a gold cup for winning the Grand Prix overall. And more importantly, completing the Special Cup unlocked yet another Grand Prix, which meant the challenge was only getting bigger. All cups, alright, okay. And this was a little different. Instead of just 4 races or even 8, the World Tour throws every single track in the game at you, back to back. So that's 16 races, no breaks, no retries, and for the achievement, only a perfect 160 points would do. That means 16 wins back to back. And to make things even more interesting, the track order is randomized every time you start the event. Well, almost. Luigi Circuit is always first, and Rainbow Road is always last. Everything in between is always mixed. Before jumping into 50cc, I checked to see if there were any character-specific achievements tied to the mode, and there wasn't. Then it was time for the marathon. Along the way, Sherbetland gave us an unexpected achievement, as I managed to win the race without drifting once. After winning all 16 races, a perfect 160 points, we unlocked this, and World Tour 50cc was completed. Now by this point, we're reaching the end of the stream, and while I enjoy Mario Kart, starting another 16 race gauntlet on 100cc wasn't exactly appealing with the time that it currently was. So instead, I decided to clean a few miscellaneous achievements. Starting with this one, win a race without using any boosts or items. Then there were a couple of hidden shortcuts I somehow never discovered despite playing this game for years. First up, the secret pipe on Mushroom Bridge.
I know where it is. It's behind me. But I don't know how I get there. Do you go down here? Oh my word, look at this. I found the hidden bridge. Achievement unlocked, it's lovely.
And then another hidden pipe on Peach Beach. Turns out after all these years, Double Dash still has a few secrets left to show me. New day, a new stream, time to fire up the 100cc gauntlet. Let's see if there's any character combinations again, and nope, we're all good. allowed chat to pick this loadout, but taking down all 16 races in one attempt for this achievement. So we did skip through 50cc and 100cc because they were pretty easy to do. What is the challenge is 150cc. So let's jump straight into that. There's been no character specific achievements for the other two events, so I didn't even check to see if there was one for 150cc, but let's jump into it. I like the loadout from the last time, so I retried it here. Can I do this first time like the previous two?
Oh, give up. Am I going right way? No. How did he spin me all the way around, man?
And so it begins. I genuinely don't think I can give it the emphasis that it needs. This is hard, and so begins the failures. We do, however, pick up a miscellaneous achievement for hitting ourselves with the blue shell. I think around easily 30 different retries, which could combine to either 200 races or even more. We finally found ourselves on Rainbow Road, and we take down the win.
We've unlocked mirror mode. Hang on. Did we even need to do that? Oh, we needed to be Wario and Waluigi. We just needed to be Wario and Waluigi. I didn't read it right.
I'll come back to this. We unlock mirror mode. Let's fly through these. So if you've never played it before, mirror mode is exactly what it sounds like. Every course in the game is flipped, so every right turn becomes a left turn, every shortcut appears where your brain doesn't expect it to be, and suddenly years of muscle memory become completely useless. We also got achievements for beating every single Grand Prix: Mushroom Cup, Flower Cup, Star Cup, Special Cup. First, it was surprisingly disorientating. I'd see a corner coming up and instinctively turn the wrong way because my brain was still expecting the normal layout.
I've got wrong way.
Once I got used to the mirrored tracks, the difficulty dropped off pretty quickly. The course hadn't changed, my brain just had to catch up. After a few attempts later, all 4 cups were complete, and because I planned ahead, I was also using the correct characters and kart combinations along the way, which meant a whole stack of achievements unlocked at the same time. Now that we've unlocked some more karts, I went back to get the Toad and Toadette specific achievement for the Star Cup on 150cc, and the DK and Diddy Kong achievement on 150 Special Cup that I failed last time on the last race. Then it's time to return to the All Cup tours, with 150cc and mirror mode still left to complete. I've been putting it off, and right now I don't really have anything else to do, so it's time to get started. We began with 150cc cup using Wario and Waluigi in their kart. I did mention earlier that special items don't usually make a huge difference in terms of advantage or disadvantage, but that weren't entirely true. These two have arguably the worst special item in the game. It's an F tier bomb. If you throw it forward, you usually end up driving into the blast radius and hit yourself, so realistically you're forced to throw it backwards. The problem is, if another item comes towards you or a racer gets too close, when you throw it backwards, it detonates and you're caught in that explosion again. So as I said at the start of the video, we spend a lot of time on Luigi Circuit, since it's always the first track, and honestly, I wouldn't even know how many restarts I had to do with these characters alone. Every restart fires up Luigi Circuit, and we have to keep going round it. Also, another thing, because I've gone through the Mirror Mode Grand Prix, I'd unlocked King Boo and Petey Piranha as playable characters. They come with an overpowered kart, and at least one of them always seems to be fighting for first place. Their special item is also a random special item out of the special item pool. This definitely made things harder. Lesson learned: don't unlock them if you're going for this mastery. Just complete 150cc with Wario and Waluigi first before touching mirror mode. But after 4 days in real life of trying this every day, we finally make it to Rainbow Road. We cross the line in first place, and we never have to use Wario and Waluigi ever again. The final Grand Prix, the Mirror Mode All World Tour, using King Boo and Piranha in an overpowered kart, is massively easy compared to the last one. After a few attempts later, we get 3 achievements, and that's all of Grand Prix completed, except for the miscellaneous achievements, that is to use lightning twice and still finish first. This is RNG, and it's hard to get the lightning twice as it's an 8th place item, so you've got to use it twice and still catch up and win. You've just got to get lucky. We're waiting for a power up to get the lightning and then try your best to catch up, and when you win, you get this. Now, only the time trials stand in my way for this mastery now, and let me tell you, this escalated the difficulty. By this point, I thought I'd mastered drifting. Turns out I hadn't. There's a lot more to the time trials than just learning how to slide around corners. Before we get into the time trials, thank you very much for watching this video so far. If you've enjoyed it, please consider liking the video, subscribing, and hitting the bell for notifications. You simply simply not racing against your own best time or simply random chosen targets. You're racing against the developers themselves, the people who built the physics engine, designed the tracks, and know every inch of the game. They're new shortcuts I'd never even considered. You do get to race off against the staff ghost, but only when you've got close enough to their time to unlock that ghost. So before that, you're basically grinding in the dark, hoping you're taking the fastest route. Enough talking, let's just pick our team. I went with the Cooper Troopers for the time trials. You want a lightweight duo, and honestly, any of them will do. I picked these two because all they do is make little noises when boosted, instead of constantly shouting voice lines. Trust me, after 100 attempts and 100,000 boosts, this matters. This was a cycle of restart after restart. You miss a mini turbo, restart. You mess up the starting boost, restart. Clip into a wall, restart. Every tiny mistake costs time, and in these time trials, time is everything. You think a long straight section would just be as simple as holding the accelerator? Nope, you drift boost in there too. Every possible speed boost matters as well. And this is only for the first track. There's still 15 more to go. To make things even worse, I accidentally made the challenge harder than it needed to be. I didn't realize you could use the mushrooms when attempting to beat these staff ghosts. You absolutely can, so use them. Thankfully, Luigi's circuit isn't too bad once you know the route. Drift through the shortcut behind the chain chomp, drift out of it cleanly, then chain together 2 or 3 boosts around the long bend, grab the mini turbo jump, squeeze in a couple more drifts along the straight, and on the final corner, hold the drift a little longer for a tighter line, and then boost over the line.
Get in, unlocked superior hunting skills, and all that's missing is a mansion to house this ghost. 2 achievements unlocked.
You only need to beat 1 staff ghost without using any mushrooms. You can use mushrooms again on any of the other tracks. And then in the menu section, if you enter this random code, you unlock another achievement. You do get an achievement for each track that you complete the time trial on. With this video pushing on, I don't want to go through each and every track individually, especially some of them I'd complete after a few attempts. I'll just show the ones where I struggled or that I had to learn a new mechanic. However, I have created shorts of each track where I won and got the achievement. So if you want to check those out for any that you might be struggling with. Dry Desert, this was a hard one until I got close enough to unlock the staff ghost. Before that though, I did struggle with this. I didn't think there was any chance I was going to get anywhere near this. But then on a good lap, I finally unlocked the staff ghost, and then I followed the staff ghost closely, and I noticed that they used a shortcut at the end of the lap. This saved off all the time. After I knew the shortcut, I easily took this down. Daisy Cruiser, 9.9 out of 10. Just going to throw the difficulty out there to begin with. Purely 9.9 out of 10. There's one more slightly harder track than this later on. I got a 158.9 on my first attempt. It's about 7 seconds slower than the staff ghost. Fast forward about an hour into the stream, still only really getting 155s. I still hadn't unlocked the staff ghost. Then an amazing lap happened. We dropped almost 3 seconds off from nowhere.
152, 909. Oh, we're so close.
And we finally managed to unlock the staff ghost.
We're just gonna watch where this guy goes.
No way. I didn't have the skills to do this shortcut.
How the hell did you get down there to do it?
Let alone to do it 3 times to beat this ghost. I just had to knuckle down and brute force my route to perfection. Finally taking this down, I streamed this course for 2 hours and I finally got this time. Wario Coliseum. Remember when I said it's not just about drifting that you got to master? Well, chat came to the rescue once again. There's a mechanic called fast falling. Basically, when you've just gone into the air, if you hold drift and then left or right, you fall quicker, saving a lot of time on the big jumps. But other than doing this correctly, you got 2 laps and 2 mushrooms. Dino Jungle, the 10 out of 10 circuit. The reason this is so hard is that the bridge section, the staff goes straight to the right and grabs the boost pad, but it's so hard to go that way consistently without flying off the bridge. So I have to go to the left and take the time hit and try and catch up later on in the circuit. But with yet another mechanic we need to master, well, at least try, and that's air drift. Whilst you're in the air, you can charge up a drift, and when you land, you boost off. So this is what we need to do to catch up the time we lost against the staff ghost by going the safer, slower route. And there's 2 places that we need to use it. There's one on this shortcut as you slow down when you land, and then more or less straight away just before we get to the bridge, get a drift boost to boost across the bridge. After the bridge, cut the corner very tightly without getting a mini boost, as this will just push you wider and into the wall. And in my attempt, I didn't get the air drift each time, but just enough to only just beat the staff ghost. One more track to go, one final time attack, Rainbow Road for the win. This track is perfect for not getting mini turbo boost on every corner, especially the first two hairpins. It's better to be able to go round tighter than boost wider and almost fall off, losing a lot of time if you do bump into the wall. Get as many boost pads as you can on the spiral. On the jumps, either do a fast fall or air drift. Do this 3 times without falling off for the win. Yes, we've mastered it! Get in!
316.33, so we were 0.1 in front of the time, but that is all of Mario Kart Double Dash completed. Fantastic, absolutely fandabidoza.
We also get the Mastery in 38 hours and 2 minutes. The average is, well, 24 hours, but I don't care. We've got another one of my childhood games mastered using Retro Achievement. The 150cc All Cup Tour and then some of the tracks on the time trials really pushed my completion over the average. But it's done. I enjoyed almost all of it, and I just want to thank you for watching my video on Mastery of Mario Kart Double Dash. Follow me on Retro Achievements to see what may be coming up next. Follow me on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, all that jazz. But I'm the Smiley, and I'll catch you in the next one.